Hello, hello, Mercury in retrograde. What does it mean for you? Let's talk about this. If we haven't met yet, my name is Irina Miller. I'm an energy alchemist, and my joy and mission is connecting curious, empathic seekers like yourself to the sacred practices and tools that help you step into the life that you were born to live. Let's jump into this. Mercury in retrograde. I basically want to break this down into a 3-step formula to make it really easy and simple to understand how it's going to show up for you and in which ways. So there are no unexpected surprises. Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed. And it looks like this. First thing, we want to just go and take a look at, well, what does retrograde mean? And if you've heard of Mercury in retrograde before, then drop me a little thumbs up emoji in the comments below. I feel like this is something that has come into the everyday vernacular and mainstream talk. People blame Mercury for a lot, like, oh no, Mercury's retrograde, the printer died, my phone is on the fritz, computers seem to blow up, holy cannoli. Well, let's just talk about retrograde for a moment and what it means, because it's not a bad thing. It can be a very good thing. Retrograde is just simply when a planet appears like it's moving backwards in the sky. So from our earthly perspective, we look up and it looks like, oh, wait a second, the star is moving backwards. It's not. Think of it a bit like two cars traveling on a highway. And you and another car are going 60 miles an hour. And as you're going 60 miles an hour, like, oh, we're going in the same direction, same timing. But then all of a sudden you decide, oh, I'm going to go 65, but this guy keeps going 60. When you accelerate and you go a little faster, the other car appears to be going backwards. So it's a little illusion. Both cars are still going forward. It's the speed that changes. So when a planet goes retrograde, it's the speed that changes. It just looks like it in the heavens. That's another point. All planets go retrograde, not just Mercury, but Mars and Venus and Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune and Uranus and Pluto, still counting it as a planet. They all go retrograde at some point. The only ones that don't are luminaries, the moon, and the sun. When a planet goes retrograde in general is just a time to revisit. It's all the re's. Review, reflect, reorganize, refine, reassess, anything that you can dream of. You can get quite creative. So retrograde, you say, oh, okay, well, wait a second. This is a moment for me to slow down, to go back, and to review things, to reassess, reorder, reorganize. All right, so now that I kind of have a handle on retrograde, well, what does it mean for the planets, in particular Mercury? Well, think of Mercury like that friend who's super talkative. They've got all the latest juicy information. They love to communicate. Maybe they're really good with tech. They always have the latest gadgets and gizmos, the newest iPhone. So Mercury is a planet of communication, technology, mechanical things. When it goes retrograde, sometimes it can show up like technical failures or miscommunications, missed appointments. And so we just want to be mindful. We want to slow down. We want to review our appointments, our schedules, our calendars, reassess the situation, kind of make sure we've backed up all of our computers and phones and the like. It's just extra precaution. All planets go retrograde at some point. So if you take into account some of the others, like Venus, Venus is a girlfriend or guy friend you want to go shopping with. They know all the beautiful spots and you'll have so much fun. You'll really have the time of your life. You may spend a little bit of extra money, more money than you expected. Jupiter is like the friend who shows up in the convertible with the passport and says, hey, we're going on an adventure, jump in. They don't give you a moment to think about it twice. They've got big things planned. Go big or go home. Capricorn friends at the door yelling after you guys, wait a second, you didn't get your chores done. You need to fulfill this promise. You need the responsible one. You're like, shh, I'm going. Neptune's the friend who helps you put together the vision boards. Pluto's a great one for a makeover, a big shift and transformation. So, all of these planets, think of it a bit like the personality, it's a character in the play, really. It's like who's showing up. the way that they express themselves, so this is the third part of the formula, is a zodiac sign. So when they are showing up, Mercury showing up in Virgo is going to be very different than Mercury showing up, let's say, in Cancer. When Mercury is retrograding in Virgo, as it is right now, we take a moment and say, okay, well, what is Virgo about? Virgo is about analyzing. It's about the details. It's about systems, being productive and efficient. Virgos really know when things are out of order. They're not in integrity. They might be the ones who notice like the painting on the wall is a little shifted. They can't just walk by it. They just need to straighten it a little bit because it bugs them. They feel the vibrational offness of it. So we put this formula together. We know what a retrograde is. It's a time to slow down and reflect, to review, reorganize. We know a little bit more about Mercury. Mercury is a planet of communication, technology. And we know that in Virgo, Virgo is about systems. It's about your health. It's about your work. It's about your daily activities. So you are going to be taking some time right now. Most likely, pay attention to it. You'll have that opportunity to reflect on, well, my system's in place. Do I have a good system in place for my health? Am I getting enough exercise? What am I eating? What does work look like? We're reflecting and reviewing that. We're reassessing where we're putting our energy and our time on a daily basis. It's wonderful for getting through old paperwork and admin type stuff. Get it all cleared up and out of the way, and you will be feeling so good going into the next part of the adventure. So remember this 3-step formula. Anytime a planet goes retrograde, especially Mercury, remembering what retrograde means, remembering what the planet's about, and then also where is it going retrograde? Now, if you specifically want to know more about how it's lighting up your chart, where it is in the stars for you, where does Virgo show up in your natal chart, then click on the link around this box. Let's continue the conversation. But it's wonderful to have you here. Definitely share with me too. What's your zodiac sign? Drop it in the comments. What sign are you? This is so much fun. The stars reveal these insights about ourselves. So many times we can have these revelations where I really find that we stop beating ourselves up and we say, oh, that's part of my nature. It's who I am. So I can either fight it or I can go with it and use it to my benefit. All right. Have an incredible Mercury in retrograde. If you have questions, pop them in the comments below. Otherwise, share this with a friend if it's been helpful for you. And I look forward to seeing you at the next Inklings. All right, lots of love. Bye, guys.